This is your news report and your second stimulus check update and your stimulus package update as of Friday, September 11th. I am so grateful to live in the greatest country in the world, and I want to remember the victims of 9/11 and give honor and praise to all the firefighters, the first responders, and all the servicemen of this great country. I hope that we as Americans can help one another out so that we can restore the health and well-being of this great country. It's a privilege for me to give you the daily news, so thank you so much for your support, and I appreciate it so much. In today's news, the Senate, they failed to pass the smaller Republican stimulus package. We'll review the status of the second stimulus check and reveal what just happened in the Senate. If you want to help others that are in financial distress, now is your opportunity. Please come add your name to our petition that calls for the politicians to stop their political games and pass the stimulus package. Thank you for all your help, and I will leave the link for that down below. We'll update you on the status of President Trump's executive orders on the payroll tax cut and unemployment benefits through FEMA. The National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, they say that COVID-19 will worsen in the fall and in the winter. This is your Friday news, and happy Friday. The Senate, they voted on the smaller stimulus package yesterday. This was a Republican stimulus bill that needed 60 votes to pass. The Senate Republicans did not get those 60 votes, so the Democrats, they blocked it 52 to 47. The biggest items in that stimulus bill were the extension of federal unemployment benefits, more money for the self-employed and small businesses through a second round of PPP, money for schools and daycare, and tax credits for parents with children that are going through at-home learning. Mitch McConnell, leader of the Republicans in the Senate, said the Democrats, they care more about politics than helping American families. Chuck Schumer, leader of the Democrats in the Senate, responded by saying that the Republicans voted on this bill just to put on a show and give the appearance that they want to help the American people. The Democrats, they say that this was all a Republican stunt just to get votes. Nancy Pelosi, leader of the Democrats in the House of Representatives, said on an MSNBC interview that she rejects the idea that a smaller stimulus package is better than no stimulus package. Pelosi says it's all or nothing. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin says that the $1.3 trillion Republican stimulus package offer is still on the table. That $1.3 trillion stimulus package, that includes a second stimulus check for $1,200, the extension of federal unemployment benefits, and a second round of PPP money for the self-employed and small business owners. But Nancy Pelosi says that $1.3 trillion is not enough and that she wants $2.5 trillion all or nothing. Mitch McConnell is accusing the Democrats for not wanting to pass anything before the elections because a stimulus package would help Americans and would sway people to vote Republican. President Trump claims that the Democrats want Americans to suffer now so that Americans get upset, they blame him, and they vote Democrats. As you can see, there are so many political games being played at the expense of the American people. For these reasons, I wrote those letters to President Trump, to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, and Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. I wrote that letter calling for the politicians to stop the political games and to remember their duty to the American people. Unemployment remains at record high levels. The income inequality is rising. Food insecurity is rising. Evictions are rising. Americans are simply suffering. While all of this is happening, there are billions of dollars of unused funds and uncommitted funds from the previous stimulus package. If you would like to help others out that are experiencing financial distress, then please come help us out by adding your name to our petition. You can submit your name only once per IP address. This petition calls for the politicians to release the unused funds from the previous stimulus package and to provide relief to the people, and we're calling on the politicians to pass this stimulus package now. Thank you for your support, and every voice counts. The link is down below. And here are the updates on President Trump's executive orders. Regarding the payroll tax cuts, the 2.2 million federal workers will currently not be able to opt out of the payroll tax deferral. You will receive a larger paycheck for the rest of the year, but you'll receive smaller paychecks next year from January through April in order to pay back the governments. Your paychecks, they will be smaller by 6.2% for those months next year. If you are one of those 2.2 million Americans, then please be advised and budget accordingly. For President Trump's executive order on the unemployment payment through FEMA, 21 states have now been issuing those payments. 49 states have now been approved or are pending approval. All states are now accounted for. South Dakota is the only state to have declined those FEMA funds. Illinois started issuing out those payments. New York will start issuing out those payments next week. California issued those payments and are approved for 5 weeks. They are seeking the additional week for 6 weeks. Texas has issued those payments and their funding has now been depleted. Florida has issued those payments as well. 28 states, they still have to start issuing those payments, and I hope that payment gets to you very soon. In political news, President Trump insists that downplaying COVID-19 in the United States was a successful approach. ABC News reporter Jonathan Karl asked President Trump why he lied to the American people about COVID-19, and President Trump responded by saying, "I didn't lie. I said we have to be calm. We can't be panicked." President Trump says that the United States has done the best job in confronting COVID-19. Joe Biden responded by saying, "We have no confidence in President Trump's leadership. It was all about making sure the stock market didn't come down and that his wealthy friends didn't lose any money." In COVID-19 news, the United States reported 34,808 new cases and 894 fatalities. This is according to the Johns Hopkins University. The CDC says that 40% of cases are asymptomatic and that people without symptoms are about 75% infectious compared to the people with symptoms. The most recent studies are showing that it takes, on average, 6 days for people to develop symptoms after they've been in contact with COVID-19. That's the news for today. I want to thank you again for all your support, and please help us by adding your name to our petition. Please subscribe, and I'll keep you updated. I'll save you some time, and I'll give you any advice when applicable. Thank you so much, and please stay safe.